Hello everyone, I'm Annie.
Hi everyone, I'm Amanda.
Today we'll be covering on Lentor Gardens. And I'm very happy today with me. I not only just have Amanda, but Amanda is a bit different because she is already a current owner in the Lentor collection area.
So coming from a point of view as homeowner, I understand the key concerns that some of us will have in terms of our exit strategy, what is the best price to enter, or even moving forward when we exit, will there be any rental yield? How is our profitability like?
So today we will dive in to the numbers.
Touching on today's content, we will be running through a little bit about the project information in terms of oversupply in Lentor. So this is one of the key concerns that a lot of us will have as a homeowner because today there are so many plots there. Land prices in the Lentor collection, in terms of our rental yield, our profitability, what are the numbers looking like? Will it be good or is it too low? And finally, most importantly, will be our walkaway price. So what is a good number to walk away from? How do we even determine what is the right PSF to enter? A little bit about the project information. Lentor Gardens Residences, developer will be Kingsford. Our estimated TOP date will be about 2030, maybe slightly earlier. Total number of units, 499, inclusive of 3 shops. So our 2-bed to 4-bed, 2-bedroom consists of 50%, the other 50 will be 3 and 4, which also includes a 3-unit of strata terrace. Of course, car park lot, 80% allocation.
Nice, huh? Have been a while we didn't see strata houses around.
Actually, this is the first project in Lentor that has actually 3.
The last time we have strata houses were like Riverfront Residences, Affinity. Oh, Normanton also have. So Kingsford, not first time that they are having strata houses. But only 3 units. It's like a handful of it only. Got money also, don't know can buy enough.
So we have to see how it goes after lah. Moving forward, where Lentor Gardens Residences is, we are here. So in terms of the sequence, for us to better understand what has been launched, where are the other 6 plots, I'm just going to run through a little bit here. Lentor Modern, that's the first one. Lentor Hills Residences, second. Moving forward with Hillock Green, and then Lentoria over here. Lentor Mansion, last year. Lentor Central Residences have just launched. So what we need to know here, Lentor Mansion and Lentor Central Residences will be the 2 harmonized plots. The rest are not harmonized. So site plan, we have 3 blocks, 74, 76, 78. These are 16 stories. Block 66, 3-bedroom compact. These will be 8 stories and this will be your 3 strata landed houses. We are full-fledged facility. Condo facilities will also be at your Sky Terrace at the 9th story of the 3 blocks where the 16 stories are at.
The Lentor side, majority have a sky garden in the center.
So there will be very good views, 2 loading, 1 in the front and 1 at the back.
Typically, that is a basic overview of the project and what we are expecting. But I think more importantly, as a buyer, Amanda, today if I am still someone in the market, I'm looking for investment, I'm looking for homestay with a good capital appreciation in future. Right. Of course, I'll consider Lentor because of the land price is low. That means I'm getting more affordable entry price tags. But however, honestly, looking at Lentor Garden Residences is don't know after how many thousand units, basically is quite worrying. So, do you have something to share with us? Because as an owner, I believe before you even buy yours, you would have already know what is going on and what are the numbers that you are looking at.
I also worry about the oversupply. Maybe today we can touch on a little bit about the numbers so we can better understand what's actually going on. So total number of the supply now in 6 plots of Lentor is actually 2,954. So what is important for us to actually also understand is when are they launched so we can determine when is the SSD period.
Only 2,956 meh? I thought it's don't know how many thousand units already.
2,954 total.
So this is excluding what is upcoming, is it?
Yes, correct.
I see. So these are the one that is launched from day 1
all the way
till now that people are already able to buy.
Actually, do you know, out of 2,954, make a guess how many units are left today?
I don't know.
26 only.
Huh? 26?
26?
Oh, that means it's very high acceptance rate. Because what I see here is consecutive launches back to back. And if I really run the time frame, it's probably only about 2 to 3 years.
2 to 3 years.
And the take-up rate is
so strong. So very strong. So earlier on, we touched on the supply. Total current supply, we have 2,954. But moving forward, after Lentor Gardens has launched, and after the next plot that has already been bidded, which is going to be beside Lentor Modern, the total number of units is actually 4,033.
So I believe this is a crucial number that is quite worrying.
Do you think this is a lot of units? Actually,
Yes, it is. So let's say I have 4,000 neighbors who are competing to rent out together with me, competing to sell. If let's say my goal is within a specific period of time, I have certain planning and pathway, then this number is very worrying.
Correct. So I think the key thing that we want to really understand today is this thing called SSD, Seller Stamp Duty.
Yep.
So why is it important for us to know? Because of all of these 8 plots, Annie, do you think that everybody will sell at the same time?
No, definitely no. But if we have so many thousands of units, I don't need everybody I need 50% that is selling at the same time, then it's very
It's quite
scary.
jialat, 2,000.
Correct.
So moving forward, what we want to understand is between Lentor Garden Residences and the last launch, which is Lentor Central Residences. When did the SSD start? SSD from Lentor Central is March 2028. Lentor Gardens Residences, 2030. So actually, Annie, what is the time gap that we see from 2028 to 2030? It's about 2.5 years, ma. So in between these 2.5 years, actually, can I say those investors or whoever who bought Lentor Central who is looking to exit would have already exited?
They are already in the first batch of competition already.
So what we want to understand here is actually who is our real competition. So let's say if majority of the investors at Lentor Central Residences have already exited within this 2.5 years time frame, who is our real competition? So we will touch on that next. So Lentor Gardens, we want to understand how many units? 499. However, Lentor Central, the next plot, 8th plot, which will likely be launched around next year. It's a total of 580 units and it's already confirmed. Both with 4 years SSD. So the total number of units with these 2 projects is actually 1,000 over units. So is this really an oversupply, Annie?
So probably I will be more in a bullish race towards the next batch.
I think that one would be a key concern that we can take a look at also.
I see.
So moving forward in terms of the land prices,
Basically, I was looking through some numbers which I also really want to understand in terms of price strategy, in terms of developer buying into the land and their launching prices. So thank you for sharing, Amanda. I actually also pull out some of the research to be done in terms of the land prices, the transaction that has been done in Lentor area. And I do want to understand whether coming in for Lentor Residences, is it still an opportunity or is it I'm overpaying above the rest that I have done? So over here is a summary of where are all the prices, including developers' land price. So arrange in the sequence 1 to 6, meaning just now according to Amanda's flow is the same flow, and then the 7 to 8 is the upcoming one. Over here, right, Amanda, what I see very prominently is despite all the land prices that has been done by the 6 developers, every year as a buyer, I actually get a renewed opportunity to come in. So you see here, Lentor Modern launch first ma. So let's say by the time I'm ready, I miss the launch, and then I come in, I can never get the sweet spot like this type of first batch of pricing, like below $2,000 already ma. But however, I just need to wait a while, and then I get to buy in again, starting from 1,007 plus, and all the way until Lentor Mansion, even though it's the first harmonized, I also still see the renewed opportunity to come in at the lower price range again. So now that just now you also mentioned like Lentor Garden, then after that, next year also, there will be Lentor Central coming in. I pull out their land prices and I realized this time round is a little bit different because ever since Lentor Mansion came in, there is like a knee-jerk effect. This is across Singapore. First harmonized always get the knee-jerk effect that you get a lower land price. Then Lentor Central, then Lentor Garden, it ends here. Because the next thing I'm seeing, Lentor Central actually have a 1,278. And that is quite a big difference.
Very big.
It's coming to about like 40% difference in terms of price. So if I were to just look at my renewed opportunity to come in, yes, I could be potentially buying in with the price gap. But how does it going to determine me in terms of my unit selection later on? That is important because everyone will tell us the same thing. Annie, you come in at 40% price gap. Everyone knows that. But I think more importantly to me is if I still decided to come in to capitalize on this opportunity, I should also know exactly where is the gap.
Or are you even overpaying for it?
I may overpay without knowing. Even though this one got 1,278, doesn't mean it cannot come with some sweet spot prices for me to capitalize on. So probably before we go into that point, let's bring up some more numbers so that we can have clarity of what is going on. So one thing first, today, if I am an investor, the numbers that I'm looking in may be a little bit different from someone who is buying a potential homestay.
Very different.
So we lay out again now this time around in another table chart. What we can see here is Lentor Modern's performance.
I think a lot of people also want to know that. Because the sub-sale is also very high now in terms of the transacting PSF.
So Amanda, when you buy in, you don't have a Lentor Modern transaction sub-sales for you to tap.
No.
But now I pull out the number. In fact, it looks a bit worrying for me.
Please share.
Yes, because when we pull out the number, one thing that we are able to see the sub-sales transaction that is being done. And how do we tabulate the rental yield? It has to include everything, including all the launch day prices, people. Because if I get a lower price and then I get the same rental, definitely I have a higher yield. So let's not just massage the data and give you one or two. We just do the overall. When I look at this overall profitability, I do see a range that is very big, number one. But I see a higher point of about $500,000. So later we will draw in a bit more. And then the rental yield is a bit alarming.
Actually, do you consider this high or low, Annie? For you?
To me, if I were to hold on an average of 3% rental yield in the property, very straightforward, I will look at selling. Because if I can sell and I can let my capital work harder for me, probably is a better choice for me. So over here, I went to research a bit more. So Amanda, while we were researching together, what we are able to see are sharp comparison that sometimes it's never both sides of the world. It's not easy lah. Cannot say the market don't have, but it's a little bit difficult. It's like back in 2020, at that point of time was like, I remember was like the COVID period, then just start to like stabilize down. That point of time, property prices is
Scary leh.
quite scary because of the macroeconomic factor also. But then I just want to take a very distinctive look. I take the M, which is like launched in February the same year, and then there's this one more Forex at Bukit Timah that is launched in August that same year. And now they are already into resale, rental and all that, actively transacting already in the open market. When I see the figures, it's pretty alarming. For the M, honestly, the rental is perfect performance. 7%. Owners can
Very
keep
high.
7% kind of rental yield return. But on the other hand, even though the same year purchase, maybe because of the different in locale, different in preposition, the rental yield performance is only at a 5.5. So same thing, normal people would think if I can get a good rental yield, I'm in a good location like the M, which is like Bugis, by right I should also make good money. But the statistic shows that the capital appreciation for the M is highest, I repeat myself, at this point of time, annualized at only 3%. Annualized. So on the other hand, Forex, the comparison, it is doing a 7%. It's almost a 7%. Therefore, when I look at all these examples, we went through a lot of data. Then this is not the only kind of development that is happening like that. This actually already happened way back in 2018. 2018, I went into their transaction. Sterling Residences, which is like good location, Queenstown, and the rental yield is really doing a stunning 8.68. 8.68. On the other hand, Whistler Grand, which is like on the other west side, so further west, you see the transaction here for rental is only about 6.7. But then this Whistler Grand also characteristic is very different from Sterling. But then the capital appreciation actually hit up to 10.
So actually it doesn't mean that my rental yield is high, I will actually earn more money leh.
So how do I actually determine what is the right one? Honestly, some areas people buy for homestay. Some people is very clear cut one. Today, I don't mind. I'm going to park in the best location. I'm going to leave it here for the next 8 to 10 years, even 15 years, and then I pass it down to my children, also no problem. So everyone has a different priority in terms of what you want to achieve. But some area is very clear cut one. Today I'm coming in, I'm buying a bigger size, a proper layout, because I have a very strategic and clear plan that once the time is up, I'm going to sell it to the next homeowner and I'm going to cash out for the capital appreciation. So today what is important is not just about the project, the location, the upcoming transformation, no, but it's really about what is your personal goals.
Why are we buying this?
Yes. your personal goals. What do you want to achieve for this next property purchase? How long is your intended holding period? And if, let's say, the market do not move as well, what is your expectation during this holding period? This is very important. And everyone is different. Like Amanda, yours and mine can be like vastly different. And every day on the ground, we meet so many clients. I can tell you, everyone is different. So there's no one size fits all. If you all do need help to run through again in terms of your personal planning, where are your finances standing at now, and your age also play a part. Feel free, you can scan our QR code, you can reach out to us. Both of us will be able to give you clarity in terms of in terms of what people are doing on the ground, what are the different expectations you are looking forward to, and what suits you the best. You can decide from there. Let's move on.
So I feel most importantly, we need to understand what is our walkaway price for this current project. Because in terms of the numbers wise, we look at on the ground how the numbers are going in terms of PSF. There will be a certain cut-off point that we feel that is important. When it reaches there, we don't want to let our emotions take over. Because you and I have been in launches so much, we understand during the launch, buyers may have a tendency to make certain wrong decisions.
Yes. Emotional decision. They just like lowers their purchase. I ever meet a client that come in and tell me that the lowest PSF is going to make the biggest money, and they are not our clients now, but we know what is happening. They just go in and whack the lowest unit. But their plan is actually a semi-homestay investment, meaning they're going to stay in here for the next probably like 3 to 4 years until their children graduate from their education. Then that is where they will plan their next move. So when the intention is so clear like that, the walkaway price should not be lowest possible. I mean the strategy, like I won't say the walkaway price, the strategy should not be lowest possible. They are entitled for slightly better view, better floor, but at a gap that is still sweet spot for growth.
I feel that one is very important. And our whole objective of our purchase also, holding period, because in terms of what is a good number, I feel it all boils down to the layouts, in terms of factoring different other decisions that are important to us.
So let's look at the numbers. How about we look at the numbers and then maybe you can share with me. I mean, we got different perspective so you can share with me yours and I can share with you mine Looking at the data over here, I just pull out like a quick 1 kilometer radius in the surrounding of Lentor Gardens Residences. You realize in this cluster is very cute one. It's either they are within the 10 years old or they are the super old. This cluster is very similar to like Ang Mo Kio there. It's like a very long while, no new supply come in. And this type of analysis actually becomes a little bit more comprehensive because now when the new one comes, it comes in a cluster.
And we need to make apple-to-apple comparisons if we want to understand.
So basically what me and Amanda has done is we have broken down into 3 different components for you. I'm gonna put this versus old resale. And then we're gonna put this versus what is the sub-sales acceptance level. And then finally, we're gonna compare new versus the new, which is very important. That one is apple-to-apple comparison already. Because in the next 6 to 10 years, they are your direct competitors.
So moving to the resale 2-bedroom, what we want to show you guys will be panorama because we are taking projects that is within the vicinity of Lentor Gardens. Panorama, already 13 years old. We want to understand, averagely transacted PSF has already hit 1993. So this is a non-harmonized project, so when we are going to harmonize it, we take an average of 5%. Understandably, there are others probably using about 7 to 8% to calculate harmonization.
It's normal Actually, harmonization come into play. There is a change of costing for the developer. And in terms of working out the PSF level, 5 to 8% range is what people are using. But we just want to be very truthful about the data. I don't want to pack it straight away pack to 9% harmonization for you and then show you a higher steeper price. I think that is unfair. So we just want to stay as safe as possible. We just pack 5% and see what are the numbers.
So for panorama, when we take the average PSF, we don't even want to take the highest that is transacted. We add in harmonization, you see the PSF comes up to 2093. So because panorama is also 13 years old, we want to understand if panorama is launched today, how much will the PSF be?
So we top up the lease back.
We top up the lease back for 99 years. The number you can see adds up to be 2004. Is this number okay for you actually when you see?
2004 is similar to the new price range now.
Whatever that's transacting today. Resale 3-bedroom, same thing for Panorama, average 2130. We put in harmonization 22. Same thing, top up the lease, already 25. Also same thing for the 4-bedroom, 2161. Harmonizing it 2269, top up the lease 2611. So these are the numbers 24, 25, 26. Moving forward to the sub-sale. In terms of Lentor Modern, averagely 2004. So if we harmonize it, you can see that the PSF is already 2585. 3-bedroom 2496. So 4-bedroom Lentor Modern will be 2369. So this will be for the sub-sale in Lentor Modern. So sub-sale, we want to explore also Amor Residence, which is around the corner. 2-bedroom, we can see that the average PSF after harmonization 2634. 3-bedroom 2679, 4-bedroom 2631.
And these are the average.
These are the average. We never even use the highest PSF to calculate.
Alright, understand. So looking at the resale, sub-sale, the older ones, actually the price tag is pretty near to what is doing now in Lentor. So probably we also bring in like the new versus new, the new pricing that has already been done. So taking a look at Hillock Green. Hillock Green is 2-bedroom. In this region, now they are almost fully sold, so we can take a gauge where are the price standing. So 2-bedroom itself, this time around is new versus new. So Amanda, I also want to bring in where is the average as well as the highest, because it may affect where is my cut-off point. That is the reason why. It's not because we are trying to convince or whatever. So we can see from here, Hillock 2-bedroom, average harmonized back 2352. Highest has been accepted 2677. Then take a look at the 3-bedroom done in Lentoria. Average 2314 per square foot. We work backwards because they are also non-harmonized. And the highest now at this point of time has already been accepted at 2803 per square foot. So why we want to bring out these numbers is to understand where is my point of entry. So far we have seen resale, sub-sale, new versus new. And also we got one more person, the new upcoming person here. So we went in, take a look at the article here. A few key highlights that we have seen here based on when the land was bidded. When this land was bidded, there is a projection. There may be a possibility that when Lentor Central is going to launch in future, the starting from price can be from 26. And the average could be above 27, depending on the design and finishes of the project. So what does this mean and how does the number come about? When I look back at their break-even that is being concluded here, 2378 is their break-even price. So this 2378 is break-even. Amanda, if today you are a developer, will you start selling from break-even?
Maybe not lah.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
So there should be a safety buffer that I'm looking at, right? In Lentor Central area, this area here, we take a look at Lentor Mansion. Mansion starting price is almost 20%, more than 15%. Is their starting from price because they start from 2001 plus. However, because Lentor Mansion is low rise. So in terms of higher gap, that is expected in like higher rise. When it's lower rise, probably it will be more spread out and a narrower spread that we are expecting. So it's normal. Thus, I also want to take a comparison. Lentor Central Residences, the last one, is high rise, 28 story, right? So I check out their starting from is actually about slightly less than 10% starting from price. So if let's say given the upcoming land plot of Lentor Central is going to be a semi-high rise, we check the land plan, it's probably about 1 story to 23 story range because it's capped at 107 high. So if it's going to meet high rise, that means there will highly likely be a spread also. So is it safe if I just pack along these two range? 10%? If they have a higher gap, they probably can start as low as slightly below 10%. That means the starting from price is about 2615. So in terms of this projection, now I can see the relation very well. To me, if this is the starting price and the spread in general or the higher rise in Lentor, in general, I'm not saying any specific developer. In general, I see at least a $500 to $600 per square foot range. That is what we see in general. Whether this time around for Lentor Central, the latest plot will be like that, nobody knows yet because we are not the developers. But just based on whatever that has been done in the Lentor area, packing along a $500 per square foot to 2006, Amanda,
That is very
crossing 3,000, which we may or may not know. But if I were to look at this 2006 to start from, a chance of hitting above 2008 per square foot in Lentor Central, the next upcoming plot, the probability is super high. So for me, looking at all these numbers that we have done, I do have a walkaway price. I feel in general, if let's say, remember our priority is still your property goal. That is still the priority because different people really customize need. But I have a general guide. I feel in Lentor area itself, if looking at all the numbers, Lentor Garden, my walkaway price will be somewhere near 2,650-ish, I feel can buy. Anything above really got to match into what is our holding period and what is our intention.
I feel anything in the range of maybe about 2006. So good consideration because numbers that we have went through earlier on, it's about there lah.
But both of us, we are just like looking in terms of clearly what has been transacted, the acceptance level in this area, and according to what is your plan, it can be very different. The next thing also, before we end the analysis, Amanda, one key thing I find here, why we cannot have a straight 2006, right? Yours is 2006, mine is 2650-ish. Why we cannot have this fixed point is because now we are in a new township. That means the next 6 to 10 years, our direct competition is happening. And I did a key finding here is we realize modern all the way to mansion, they have a trend. The trend in general is red color reflects the 2-bedder. Orange color reflects all the 3-bedder, and then the green reflects all the 4-bedder. What I can see here is Lentor cluster. Typically, if you were to buy smaller size unit, you pay a premium in terms of PSF. This is what I realized. Then the bigger size, like you can see here, is pretty balanced. But you can see here, different. The bigger size unit are enjoying a lower PSF. This is very important. I feel that it impacts me as an investor. Amanda. Today, if I want to reconsider all my unit selection and my exit strategy, I got to be very careful. Especially for Lentor Residences. Why? Lentor Residences developer, they adopt a different price strategy. Yes. So both Amanda and me, we were like, let's take a look. These are their latest new launches, which is still selling, almost fully sold. Some is already like more than 80% sold. So we just want to understand how is their price being loaded. For developer, is loaded how you load in all the different price. So one very strong trend for Chuan, 2, 3, 4 bedroom, they all start from a similar range.
I think this one is a very interesting thing we all have to take note.
And they actually observe another pattern. They have the equal spread among all the room types. And that is also happening in One Marina Gardens. They start around the same range, and in fact, the 4-bedroom comes with a slightly higher premium. And then also around the same spread. As a buyer today, if I am coming in, and let's say Lentor Garden Residences is going to adopt this same price trend, my cut-off PSF for 2-bedroom may be different from 3. So on and so forth to the 4th.
So Annie, actually, let's say in the event, if we are putting a scenario for example, if Lentor Gardens 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom, all launched at 2006. Does this mean that actually I cannot buy 3-bedroom and 4-bedroom?
No, it does not work this way. Understanding the price strategy actually allows us to have a clearer guidance in terms of entry safety. But however, it does not mean that I can only buy the 2-bedroom here because it's the advantage. It doesn't work this way. For 3 and 4-bedroom buyers, typically what are they for? Home or investment? Mostly for own stay. And the important part is here. Today, if I have the prudence to come in as a 3 or 4-bedroom investor, we still have to be very clear. In future, when we sell, our main group of buyer, they are home stayer. So that actually comprises of more important elements to look at. For example, your facing, your layout, your size, then match it into the quantum. So it's less of PSF play, but it's more of quantum play. That's how I look at the whole thing. I believe, Amanda, you also share the same feeling. So over here, it is very difficult inside a video that we have to bring all the different plannings into place because it's
different for everybody already.
and there is a lot of like important small details that we should talk about before even going to put in your check. Because put in check means buy is easy. But the thing is, what are you buying is more important.
And why are we buying also, I feel.
That brings us to the end of our analysis for today. If you do feel that you want a further discussion of what is the best for you or what are the different options that can create a different outcome in future for you, then feel free
Please
to contact me.
Speak to us. Scan the QR code, speak to us, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
Don't forget to like and subscribe
Oh yeah,
our channel.
forgot about that.
See you again. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.